Question. For what purpose was the Moorish Science Temple of America founded? Answer. For the uplifting of fallen humanity. 16. Question. How did the prophet begin to uplift the Moorish Americans? Answer. By teaching them to be themselves. Question for y'all out there. How can you know how great you are if you don't know where you come from? And you don't know the name that you was called when you was great? The great name that our people got is more. And that's the name that our people don't call ourselves today. Fam. One more time. The great name that our people have in common, dark complexion, olive complexion, swarthy complexion, tawny complexion, copper complexion, is more. That's the missing link. Peace and love to all you Moors, all you Muslims, all you Asiatics out there. Fam, that's your great name. You know you got a great name, right? Your great name is more. That's your great name. The reason why our people is in the mix that we in right now is because we're not using that name no more. We using names that delude to slavery. That's why we out here getting abused, mistreated. The reason why our people is getting abused and mistreated and suffering, begging for reparations, is because we not using our great name, which is more. Hey, when you say somebody's name, that let you know the origin, that let you know their nationality, what they related to, where they come from, the national food that they make. Everything involves a name. If your name is strong, then you gonna be strong. If your name is weak, you weak. Simple. Speaking of names, you know the word Rome? They say all roads lead to Rome, right? This is what they say. All roads lead to Rome. You remix the letters in the word Rome around, you get the word more. M-O-R-E. Do you think that that's a coincidence? All roads lead to Rome. I'm gonna throw something at y'all. Wow, right? Brace yourself. Did you know that there's a Rome in Jamaica? In Jamaica, there is a town in Hanover called Rome. Look it up. Hold up. Matter of fact, check it out. I wrote something down just for you. Just for you. There's a Rome in Jamaica called Hanover, Rome. All my peoples out there in Gem Rock, let me know. Jamaica has a town called Rome in Hanover. In NY too. Oh yeah, what you thought? I got a list for y'all, because I got love for my peoples. There's a Rome in Wisconsin, Tennessee, South Carolina, Pennsylvania, Oregon, Ohio, New York, Illinois, Georgia, Missouri, Mississippi, Maine, Louisiana, Kentucky, Kansas, Iowa, Indiana, Alabama. So when they say all roads lead to Rome, the name is more. Yo, the name is strong. That's why they don't want us to identify as the strong name. The last lawful name that identified our people is more. If you want to spell it M-O-O-R, M-O-R-E, M-O-R, M-U-U-R, M-U-R, M-U-I-E-R. There's over 60 variations. 60 for the word more. 60. Cal, what up? There's over 60 variations, horse. M-O-H-R is another variation. So the name is more. However you want to spell it, is strength in that name. That's why they don't want us to identify with that name. You get it? Think about this. Just think about this, right? Our people been out here calling ourselves colors, Indians, Israelites, everything else, Pan-Africans and everything else under the sun. The further you go back in time, you're not going to see none of them names. You're going to see more though. Oh. The further you go back in time, the names that people use today are going to dwindle away. Guess what's still standing? The name Moor is everlasting. It's still standing the test of time. How can you have the name Moor back then in ancient times, ancient, and you still got it today? It's just, how you say, people use modern terms. They use modern names. They're not using ancient names that reflect back to an ancient period of time with a stronger name. Think about it. If our people start using a stronger name versus weak names, how would things affect our people now? You see, first thing is, you hear somebody when they say their name, you think about everything that comes with that name. The name is the strength. The law backs up the strength. You understand? The name Moor, however you want to spell it, is the strength. The backup for the strength, the pillars for the building, is the law. Exercising the law, being competent in constitutional government. That's the strength. You ain't got no strength if you ain't got no strong name. You ain't got no strong name if you don't know constitutional law. That's why the Prophet Noble Drew Ali told us, bring my people back into a constitutional fold of government. The constitutional fold of government can only be used by people that's in the Constitution. The people that's in the Constitution are Moorish people, Al-Moroccans. Who are the Al-Moroccans? Who are the Americans? Dark complexion people, copper complexion people. Hold up, look. Let me show you something. Do I got it on me? Before I turned on this beam out, I saw this on the ground. Look. I saw this on the ground before I started this beam out. I say, hold up. Before I kicked off this beam out, I seen this on the ground. I say, wait, hold up. Let me use this. Look at that. Copper complexion. Do you think it's a coincidence that this has to be copper? Why couldn't it be silver? Why couldn't it be any other element? Why is it copper? Because the copper complexion people was the first people on the planet. That's scientifically documented. That's genetically proven. Copper complexion people have been here for an estimated 1,000,000 years. 1,000,000 years? 1,000,000. You say you just giving information. What action have you took being a Moorish American? Bet you not have a government. A genius. You see this right here? I'm glad you just said that, because you just gonna make yourself look like a straight goofball. Watch this right here, genius. I love when trolls come on here. You see this right here, genius? What action have we taken? You see this right here? See, if you really looking, then you gonna see. Or you might just be trolling. You see this right here, genius? You see this pyramid right here? So when you make statements like, what action have Moorish Americans or Moors done? A genius. Look on the so-called dollar bill. What you think this is? See, if you knew better, you wouldn't be saying what you saying. You just trolling. See this? This is a Moorish insignia. This is the emblem of the Moorish Moabite nation. You see this right here? See, I love when trolls come on here. You see this? Let's put that right there. You see that right there? What's in the shadows right there? So the circle 7 is right here on the back of the $1 note or the Federal Reserve note. Yeah, I bet you ain't never looked at that. Genius. I bet you ain't never looked at that. Right. Right. What have you uplifted today? What have you put out there today? Huh? So while you trying to troll, what have you produced today? What 5 principles do you stand for? What do you put out? What nation do you belong to? Huh? I can't see you. I can't hear you. A genius. The Moorish emblem is on the back of the Federal Reserve note. So when you say these goof-ass statements like, what are the Moorish doing? What are you doing? No, what are you doing? Because evidence is not only found on the back of the Federal Reserve note, it's found in the Library of Congress, where Moorish Americans are the allodial title holders of the Americas. Genius. And treaty law is recognized. Now you asking, but the people need a blueprint to get to the right side. The government, pay attention, the government is the Moorish government. There's 2 forms of government here. Okay? I'm glad you asking questions. You said you asking questions. That's what's up. There are 2 nations operating in America right now simultaneously. The Moorish nation, dark complexion people, have a different nation than the Albions. The Albions have corporations, corporate. They're not Americans. This is one of the things, and I appreciate the question. This is one of the main key issues that our people got to get. Like I mentioned earlier, how all roads lead to Rome, and how I just showed you 18 cities where Rome is the name of the city. Check this out. Since there are 2 governments operating in America, the government for America is the Moorish Empire. That's the government for us. The U.S. corporation, the Albion. Let me show you like this. Let me give you a visual aid. Let me give you a visual aid. Right? I appreciate the question. So let me give you a visual aid. Back to this. Look at this. Remember, there are 2 governments. If you read the national mission statement prepared by Noble Drew Ali, it will go into that further. But we're going to look at it right now. It's literally hidden in plain sight. Okay? You see the number 1 that's right there? The number 1 right there is representing. This is one nation under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all. But in this one nation, there are 2 separate nationalities. Okay? The 2 separate nationalities are Moorish Americans and Albion Europeans. Okay? One more time. One nation under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all. This flag right here, hold up. Let me show you in real time. I appreciate that question. So let me show you in real time. Okay? Let me show you in real time now. So when you see something like this, now you got an idea. Hold up. Okay. You see this right here? This is a picture of George Washington, the hybrid, chopping down the cherry tree. Okay? Look. Look at this. Watch this now. You see, Prophet Noble Drew Ali retrieved the Moorish flag in the year 1913 AD and called the Moors to what? Attention. It is the job of the conscious Moors to fly the Moorish flag again on our own land. That's the charge. The charge for every copper complexion, melanated person, olive Moor. All right. The charge that we have is to put attention to our flag and our 5 divine principles. That's our charge. That's our duty as Americans. As Moorish Americans, it's our duty to uplift the nation. How do you do that? You teach the Moors to be themselves. That's everybody's duty. Everybody has a duty out here. It's not one person bigger than the next or one person smaller than the next. That's why the Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, help me in my great missionary work. You help, when we help each other, this is the thing that our people, that I see. The times that we choose to get together, it's in churches, it's in synagogues, it's for some kind of party, it's for some kind of event. It's like a wedding or a family reunion or something like that, or a funeral. We gotta break that. We gotta break that mentality, because everybody around the world comes to America to get paid. That's what they come here for. They know that so-called black people are gonna spend the most money. We have so much self-hatred towards each other that we'll fight each other, but we won't fight the police. You see? We'll fight each other, we'll bang out against each other, but we won't turn that same anger, energy, we won't turn that same seek for justice to the ones who really over here, who not Americans. We love fighting each other though. We love taking chunks out of each other, tearing each other down. But when that hybrid European come over there with that baton and that taser and tell you to get out your car, where's all that gangster energy at then? Now, you yes sir, no sir, you comply. We changing that narrative though, because it's the age of Aquarius right now. So when people say we only get together for things that don't matter, we got to start unifying with 5 principles: love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Those are the 5 principles. That's what the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, and all of the other amendments is about. But you got to know them though. How can you fight against tyranny if you don't know the rules of the game, the rules of engagement? Think about it. How can you fight against anybody terrorizing you if you don't know what they terrorizing you, what they can do and what they can't do? Slave patrol are all police. This is what's wild about the police departments nationwide. Do you know that police do not have a constitutional obligation to protect you unless you in custody? They ain't got to protect you. Yo, this is wild, fam. But that's why Noble Drew Ali emphasized study, study, study. The police don't have an obligation. If the police see a crime happening right here, like say right here, they don't have to intervene. They ain't got to. It's up to them if they want to or not. Pick up the book, Origin of Police in America. Pick up that book. Pick up another book called Slave Patrols. Pick up them 2 books. Fire. You can't You can't defend yourself against tyranny if you don't know the people that's committing tyranny. You can't defend yourself. You don't know if they supposed to be doing what they supposed to be doing or not. You don't know if you go in the courtroom if they supposed to be doing what they supposed to be doing or not. But you could tell me all about LeBron. You could tell me all about Kobe, Jordan. You could tell me about Anthony Edwards. You see the conversations we got to start having. We could talk about basketball and all that. Football, baseball, rap, hip hop, all that. But that's a time and a place. It's a time and a place for everything. I know one thing. We under occupation. And the only way things gonna change from us being under occupation is we gotta strengthen up. We gotta strengthen up our name. And the name is right there in front of you this whole time. The name is right there in front of you this whole time. It's right here. Look. It's right here in front of you. Look at this. That's the name. The name is Moor. Moorish American. What's up with it? What up, G-Ball? What's the word? What's up, boy? What up, Waller?
What's up with you, baby?
Coolin', G. What y'all on?
We gonna get something to eat.
All right, for sure, for sure.
Good night, boy.
Yes, sir. Oh, he cool. He around here and shit. Yes, sir. Hey, see this name right here? Look, see this? Why you think the Pope, why y'all think the Pope got this over his head? Look, let me show you. You see the Pope? Why he got this over his head? Look at them figures up there. Who is that? Who is that? Why would the Hyper-European Pope Benedict, why would he be at Yankee Stadium or wherever he was at with this? Why would he have two Moors over his head if we wasn't nobody? If we always been slaves, why would he have this over his head? Why he giving out a live speech? Because he knows that the Moors was on top. He know that. He knows that. That's why it's up there. That's the Pope right there. You see, I know y'all seen that video floating around where the Pope was kissing the feet of them people, them Africans. Y'all seen that video, right? When he was kissing them, kissing their feet. Why you think he bows down to the Moors? Because we civilized the planet. That's why. So when people be saying, well, what did the Moors do? The Moors ain't on nothing. They just sold each other out. Some Moors did sell out. And some Moors fought not to keep the European as what they are today. So you had sellouts on both sides. And get this right here. You got sellouts within the pale-skinned European nation. Fam. There's a civil war that's going on right now on the planet between our nation and the Albion nation. But it's not always going to be seen. See, it's in the background. You got so-called Freemasons who actually honor the Moors, and you have what's known as people that go their own way. They renegades. People that's doing what you would say like Luciferians and Zionists. You got people that's going their own direction. They not honoring what they got set up. And what was set up was the Moors, right, the Shriners and all of them. There's a civil war going on inside their own nation. Keep in mind, there's two nations at the same time operating right now in America. Okay? In the empire. You have the Moorish nation and you have the pale-skinned hybrid Albion nation. We're not the same. There's two different governments. Like if you look up the word nation in the Black's Law 4th edition law dictionary, look up the word nation. Nation is going to say in that definition of nation, it's going to show you we are all not under the same government or not under the same sovereignty. Sovereignty is a birthright that Moorish Americans, we have naturally. Albions, this ain't their land. See, this is the thing why the NOI always gonna fall. This is why the Pan-African argument is always gonna fall. Why the Hebrew Israelites is always gonna fall. The arguments always fall because Moorish Americans are telling them and telling our people, who our people keep fighting against, European hybrids, they not Americans. You understand? You can be an American or you can be a U.S. citizen. Exactly, Moabites. You cannot be two at the same time. This is why the NOI, the FOI, Pan-Africans, Native Americans, Hebrew Israelites, this is why their argument always falls on deaf ears. Because they're still trying to serve their master, which is the Albion. That's why they never get nowhere. They just get promises. Moorish Americans, just like this right here. Look. Exactly, Moor. You can't be living and a corpse at the same time. You got to be either in full life or you dead. You're civilly dead. So again, one nation under God, indivisible, right? One nation. You got the Moorish nation and you got the Albion nation. All right? Albions, Moors. Who's the first one on the bill? Because remember, you go left. How do you write? When you write something, peace. When you write something, you're writing left to right. Okay? Left to right. What's on the Federal Reserve note? What's on it first? The Moorish emblem, the Moorish insignia, the Moorish seal. So that signifies that this is the first nation. All right, except we have to connect our consciousness back to the pyramid. All right, and the consciousness is this right here. Look, this is the consciousness. Okay, pick up this book right here, Hidden in Plain Sight. It's available everywhere right now, everywhere, every platform. You can pretty much get this book right here. But I want to show you something out of this book real quick. Look, let me show y'all this. All right. Happy Holy Day to all y'all Moors out there, all y'all Asiatics that's out there. These people right here, look. Okay, hold up. So you got to see it. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. All right. Once you see this, you're not going to be able to unsee this. Okay. These people right here. Hold up. These people right here. These are Albions. Paleolithic, modern day Europeans. Okay? These people. This is the seal for these people. These people are not Americans. They are foreign nationals living in America. We allowed them to live in these lands. But see, this is why they're here. But even here, they're paying homage to the Moorish people. That's why they got the 13. E pluribus unum. That's why it's written right here in plain sight. But this is why we got to study. See? These are black people right here. See, once you see this, you can't unsee it. That's why it got to be put out straight to you like that. These people are the black people because words have been doctored. Words have been changed. But the etymology, the origin of the word black applies to these people. These are the bleached people. These people. All right? These are the Blake, the Blanc, which refers to a fair person, someone devoid of color. It was only in the 16th century that we saw the semantic change of black to refer to something dark, night color. The word black can be traced back to its Proto-Indo-European origins through the word black, which meant pale, wan, colorless, albino. Black was incorporated into Old French as blanc, Italian and Spanish as blanco, bianca, bianco, and bianchi. These are the Blanco people. These are the albino people, the black people. And it's right here in plain sight. These are these people, and that is their seal. The first seal on the dollar, so-called dollar bill, is the Moorish seal. So the Moorish seal is the first. You gotta claim your free national name as Moor. That's fam, that's the whole enchilada. Once you claim your name Moor, now you put yourself back into a constitutional fold of government, and your status will go from the lowest as a so-called black person to the highest. So let me show you this. Since these are the black people, what they did on paper was switch their name as black people to white people. See? So they went from being second to first on paper, even though they want to this is why they want to get rid of the paper. This is one of the main reasons. Because it's too many signs, it's too many symbols, it's too much information on this paper. That's why they want to get rid of, low key, they want to get rid of the Federal Reserve notes, because this is giving out too much information for the U.S. corporation. This is why they want to low key ban TikTok, IG, social media, Facebook. This is one of the main reasons why they want to get rid of this stuff. Because see, this is transactional, hand to hand. So when you say, let me get rid of this paper, now you're going to go to currency like Bitcoins and all that. That's why they want to get rid of this. You see? Because it's literally written right in front of your face. These people are the black people. They traded places with our people on paper, and they took the title free white person. They switched themselves on paper. You see? Do you see it? So this is a reminder. When you see these people, you're looking at this on the paper. That's why it's second and not first on the Federal Reserve note. But it's one nation. You see that? One nation. They have a nation. They're Albions. They're pale-skinned Europeans. They have a nation, and we have a nation. But since we allowed them to be here with the Declaration of Independence and the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, we allowed them to be in our homeland. But this can never be their homeland. Ding, 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 ding. This can never be their homeland. It don't matter how many years they've been here or if they was born here or not. And again, this is why when they say all roads lead to Rome, it's 18 names here that have Rome as a city in their so-called state. You understand? This is why they want to get rid of these, because it's showing you that it's one nation under God, Allah, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all. But in order to get your claim for your land, you got to recognize, for what purpose was the Moorish American Science Temple? Hold on. What purpose was the Moorish Science Temple of America founded? What was the purpose? For uplifting of fallen humanity. That's us. How did the prophet begin to uplift the Moorish Americans? By teaching them to be themselves. Only way we can be ourselves is if we study history and use the law, the Constitution, the treaty to do what we need to do to navigate out here in the world. Everybody waiting on us. Everybody is waiting on the Moorish people in North America to snap out of it and claim their name as Moorish Americans, Al-Moroccans. Everybody in the world waiting on us. All you got to do is say you're Moor out loud, publicly. It's a mentality. It's not just about paper. It's not about just paper. It's about claiming a name that resonates ancient and modern. These people have been claiming our free white status. You see? That's the trick. When people ask, how do these people keep doing what they doing? They took your name on paper as a free white person and started calling our people color people, black people, when they are the black people. Do you see it now? See, once you see it, you can't unsee it. You see? You see it? So when you looking at this, know now in your mind, ancient and modern, historically, factually, this is yours. But this top capstone is connected back to the temple. That's what the world waiting on you to do. The world waiting on you to connect your mind back to your body. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? Look. What do I mean by that? Okay. What I mean by that is this right here. Contrary to popular belief, there are 5 true universal components which equally make up the natural man and woman, as opposed to the legal term artificial persons. Keep in mind, artificial persons is the 14th Amendment and the 15th Amendment. Okay? The so-called person of color, Indian, Native American, Pan-African, Black, Negro, etc., are all 3/5 colorable brands placed on Moorish indigenous peoples to confuse and trick them out of their lands, resources, nationality, inheritance, culture. The list goes on. So when they say you just a person of color, you a black woman, it's a trick. And if you consent and you agree to the trick, then you let them off the hook. You get it? You let them off the hook. If you agree to be black, you let them off the hook. That's been the holdup. You get it? When you agree to be black, when you agree to be a color, you let them off the hook. So they pretty much can treat you as a slave, a Negro. Remember, if you Google it right now, remember like Martin Luther King and all of them in the old videos and all that. Remember they was wearing a sign that said, I am a man. I am a woman. Shout out to Jersey. Let me know where y'all tuning in from too though. This is my debut book right here. Hidden in Plain Sight. This is the color edition. All right. The color edition is out right now too. Well, it's finna be out. It's finna be out. All right. So when you look, when you claim your name Moor, it's not just saying that you Moor. This is why European hybrids, they know that you Moors. They ain't gonna tell you that you Moors, Why ain't they gonna tell us that we Moors? We Moorish Americans. Why ain't they gonna tell us? Shout out to Cali. Why they not gonna tell us that we Moorish Americans? Milwaukee, Islam. Detroit 313, Islam. They not gonna tell us because they've been living in our Moorish land as if they was us. Delaware, Islam. You get it? You Moorish American. You the secret. This whole time. You're the secret. Baltimore, North Philly, 416-949, Islam. Do you get it now? You are the secret. The Shriners and all of that, the Freemasons, they know that you, Moorish American, you are the secret. So if they tell you that you the secret, guess what they gonna have to give up? Guess where they gonna have to go? They gonna have to get out of them big houses. They gonna have to get out of them big mansions. They not gonna be able to lock us up like they've been locking us up. Why? Because the name is strong. The name connects us back to our allodial position, which is the top of the top, cream of the crop. But as a colored person, you are agreeing to be 3/5 of a man, woman, and child. So they can move on you like a slave. That's why the police is called slave patrol. You get it? Choppers is out. The choppers is out. You get it now? That's why they don't want you reading. I put a post up with this former teacher, former principal. She was like getting back. She's like, we got to get our children to start reading again because they want our children to be functional illiterates. The schools. Question: what y'all think the No Child Left Behind Act was? What you think that was about? That Bush and them pushed through. You think that was about the teachers and the children and all this nonsense that was the narrative that the news was painting? The No Child Left Behind Act was to push children through schools as functional illiterates. So they didn't know how to read, write, or comprehend. They had no comprehension skills, but they was able to talk a lot. They could talk a whole lot, but they're not comprehensive about reading, writing, or knowing what they're talking about. That's what the No Child Left Behind Act was all about. Push these Negroes through school so they can be functional illiterates. And if you do give them information to free them, they gonna argue with you. They gonna argue against you. So if you even try to free your own people, that cognitive dissonance is gonna kick right in like it's supposed to. It's gonna kick right in. They gonna you try to free them. You try to get them a life raft. You try to tell them that they're not colored because colored means a 3/5 man, woman, and child. They gonna fight back against you because you giving them something that's actually gonna liberate them. It's gonna empower them. They gonna fight against you, and you like, hey, I'm trying to free you. I got love for you. I'm trying to free you. And they like, nah, I don't want what you talking about is opinion. I don't want nothing that you talking about. It's no coincidence. It's by design, fam. Pick up the book, Behold the Pale Horse. It go in depth. It go in deep into the school system. It go into the welfare system. It's all strategic. It's organized. It's organized confusion. Organized confusion. These shorties out here, it's nothing wrong with these shorties' minds. These children out here are geniuses. They really are. They just have to get out of the social engineering programs that the school system is set up and designed to do. It's social engineering. But see, it happen every day. You don't think it's social engineering. But it is. It's happening all the time, bro. 24/7. It's a whole operation. You know what I'm saying? This is why the Prophet Noble Drew Ali told us to study, 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 and teach them to be themselves. When we be ourselves, we ain't got nothing to worry about. Because I'm not going to do my brother or sister wrong or dirty. I'm going to want somebody to treat me like I want to be treated. That's the golden rule. It sounds simple. Like, treat people like you want to be treated. It sounds real simple, right? You would think like, that don't sound hard at all. Treat people like you want to be treated, for sure. But you know, unfortunately, the social programming and the social conditioning, it got our people out here like, man, nah, I got to get over. I got to get over on the next person. I got to get mine. That's programming. You know what I'm saying? So, when you see this right here, when you see this right here, right? When you see this, the 5 components to a 5 true universal man and woman and child, the 5 components are spirit, soul, body, nationality, and creed. These are the 5 components that make up a natural man and woman and child. The reason why they called our people 3/5 people as colored people, because colorable is a slave brand. Indian, Native American, Pan-African, Black, Negro, person of color, those are all slave brands. You get it? And that's the trick. That's the trick. You see? So when you say you more, you putting your nationality in the air, in the ethers, on your paperwork. You see? And when you declare your nationality and your creed is the religious path. See that? Religious path of God consciousness, established through forefathers, vine and fig tree. It don't say religion, because we study Islamism. That's our religion. Islamism is our religion. But we use Buddha, Confucius, Yahushua, Muhammad. We study it all. We study it all. See, that's why we're not limited. We ain't got no cap. We study it all. Ancient and modern. That's your bloodline. That's your birthright. Ancient and modern. You understand? So in modern times, that's why you have, fam, do you know that you got over 400 villages, towns, cities, names, rivers that are named after Moorish names? If you looked up the word Alabama, Allah, boom, ya. That's Alabama. Allah, boom, ya is Alabama. California is Califia. Queen Califia was a Moabitess. She's the one who California was named after. California was named after a dark-skinned Moabitess, Queen Califia. This is history. This is ancient and modern. This is why the name Moor is so strong. King George. Why you think George is Georgia? King George over there in Britain and UK Scotland. Why you think Georgia? Pick up this book right here. You gotta have to read about that. Pick up this book right here about King George and Queen Sophia Charlotte. Pick up this book right here. Fire. You see that? We on horseback. You see that red flag right there in the background? This is what we was on. This is us. This is us, man. On horseback. The ancient Arabs, they was not the modern pale-skinned Arabs that you see today in Palestine, in Gaza, in Iran. No, sir. The ancient Arabs were copper complexion, dark complexion, swarthy complexion, tawny complexion. Those were the original Arabs. They were not the modern day Arabs over there right now in Palestine, in Iran, in Yemen. Them not the original complexion of them people that's over there. That's that land over there. There's an ancient claim on that land over there in Palestine. It's an ancient claim over there. That land over there in Palestine, you can pick up the book by Peter Moon. What is the name of that book? What was the name of that book by Peter Moon? The Montauk Book of the Dead. Pick up that book. Yeah, pick up that book right there by Peter Moon. Montauk Book of the Dead. Either. Get that one. Get Montauk Book of the Living. He in there talking about Queen. What's her name? Queen. She was the Queen of Antonia. Yeah, Queen Antonia. She called it over the so-called blue people. You know who them was, right? The Phoenicians, the Atlanteans. Her name is Queen Antonia. Fam, the Atlanteans, this is where they get the blue complexion and all that from Avatar. They get that from them. Queen Antonia called it for the ancient Atlanteans. Atlanta. Come on, man. Like, what you mean? Like, all this shit right now is like ancient and modern, fam. All right, G-Bob. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All this shit is ancient and modern, though. Whole time. So we out here thinking like, nah, this shit must be new. They cooking up something new outside. Ain't none of this new. This shit ancient and modern. You got Moors everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You got Moors everywhere. We everywhere. Anytime you see somebody copper complexion, dark complexion, anytime you see somebody that's olive complexion, those are Moorish Americans. Whether they Dominican, Jamaican, Puerto Rican, Haitian, Venezuelan, Ecuadorian, Peruvian, Persian, everything under the sun. Everything under the sun, fam. Everything under the sun. Those are Moorish Americans. Trinidadians, Guyanans, Bolivians, Costa Ricans, Guatemalans, Mexicans, Moorish Americans, because they're in the continent of the Americas. North, Central, South America, and all of the islands, including Hawaii. Don't forget about Hawaii. The ancient Lemurians and the Atlanteans. Panama. Anywhere in the continental lands of the Americas, you are Moorish American. Remember, keep in mind, the strength is your name. It's nothing wrong with you waving your Panamanian flag, your Dominican flag. It's nothing wrong with that. But you have an ancient name attached to your land, though. Like Jamaica. Jamaica has an ancient name. Jamaica. See, they couldn't pronounce Jamaica. So they said Jamaica. You have an ancient name attached to your land, like Hispaniola. That's an ancient name, and it's even a more ancient name than that. The Greater Antilles, the Lesser Antilles. Before we was called Puerto Ricans and Dominicans and Cubans and all that, we were Tainos and Arawaks. This is why when you saying Atabe and PR and DR and all that over there, Bay, B-E-Y. That's a five free national name. That's a title. Bay, B-E-Y, D-E-Y, E-L, A-L, A-L-I. Those are free national titles. You see? So I'm finna move around though. But look, I just want to show y'all this real fast. Keep in mind, Moors, your name sets the tone for everything that you want to do. It sound like it don't. It sound like, man, it can't be that simple. Could it be that simple? Yeah. That's the start. That's the start. Your name is the start of everything. When you hear somebody's name like this, you hear somebody's name, right? Say they Chinese, right? And you will be like, well, Bruce Lee, that wasn't his name. Nah, that wasn't his name. Bruce Lee had an indigenous name. You see? Bruce Lee's name was not Bruce Lee. He was known by a different name in Manchuria. See, China is really Manchuria. That's why they speak Mandarin. But it's the name. Recognizing your name, though. You'd be surprised that the name got all the power. And why the Prophet Noble Drew Ali told us to be active and not passive. Because the name is the power. The name is the power. How do you activate it? You got to say your name. Your name is the power. Your name is the power. Indian, that ain't got no power. There's no power in saying you an Indian. There's no power there. Saying you a Pan-African, it's no power there. Saying you black or a person of color, it's no power there. Do you know that do you know that the NAACP, do you know what their organization was set up for? Their organization is set up as a fraud, unconstitutional. Look up when the NAACP got started. And look up when the Supreme Court struck them down 3 times. Because it's unconstitutional to identify as a person of color. That's why they're using color of law. Title 18, deprivation rights under color of law. Look these things up. Don't just go by what I'm saying. Look these things up. Shout out to North Carolina, South Carolina. You got a gang of history out there in North Carolina and South Carolina. A gang of history. Gang of history. That South Carolina flag, you know, that's the modern flag of the Ottoman Empire. Look up the Ottoman Empire. Look at their flag with the crescent moon and the star. And then look up the South Carolina flag. It's going to blow your mind. Straight up. Just like everything else has an ancient origin. Ancient and modern. Claim your name. Look. We all love these right here, right? You love these right here, right? Let me go in the business. Let me go over here in the light real quick. You love these right here, right? You love these right here? Okay. One nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all. This is the Moorish nation. This right here. This is the Moorish emblem. This is the Albion emblem. This right here. But it's right here in front of our face. You have the Moorish nation which is here. That's why it's first. And then you have the Albion nation, which is here. One nation, indivisible, working together. That's why they want to get rid of this and go to the direct deposit and Bitcoin and bullshit. That's why they want to go to this, so they can get this out your face. See, once this is out your face, then you like, well, out of sight, out of mind. See, once it's out your sight, it's out your mind. Once they took the word more out of population and just start putting black people on everything now. See, once they did that, it was strategic. So they like, look, all right, look, we finna take away more. We finna burn them books. We finna take that out of circulation. We not even gonna have them remember that they was Moors. You see? So once you say, and I say, and we all start to say, we Moors, now you connecting yourself back with something strong. Now you connecting yourself back with your land. Now you connecting yourself back with your reparations. Your restitution is going to come with your name claim. Without you claiming your name, fam, you don't have to say nothing else. That's what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali said. If you don't do anything else, declare your nationality. That's all you got to do. You don't got to join no temple if you don't want to. You ain't got to do nothing with nobody if you don't want to. But if you don't do anything else, declare your nationality. That's as simple as saying, I'm a Moor. I'm not finna misidentify these people right here as white people no more. Look. You're not gonna call these people white people no more. Look. Hold up. I'm finna slide. I don't even know what page that was on. There it is right here. There it is. You're not gonna call them white no more. See that right there? Is that so hard for you to do? Do you got control of your tongue? You want to start doing something today and actually have an effect today and teach your children something today to break a bad habit? Stop misidentifying these people as white people. Because clearly, according to history and the definition of black, which these people match, because these people are pale and colorless. They are devoid of color, being fucking bang. These are the black people that traded places with Moorish people. You got it now? Do you get it? You can break that bad habit today, or at least work on breaking that bad habit. Because I know some people got bad habits. You know, some people got bad habits. But the thing is, though, once you know, then you the one that know. So you liable for that information that you know. Now you aware. It's one thing to not be aware of a bad habit. But now that you know now, because you can't unsee what you just saw. You can't unhear what you just heard. So once you know now that you and I have had bad habits, now we got to be accountable. And what we going to do about it? Language. We speak this language. Break the bad habit. They are not white people. We are not people of color. We are Moors. Moorish Americans, Al Moroccans. We are not the Blanco people. We not Blanco. They are the Blanco people. Just like in Espanol. This is why Noble Drew Ali, he told us, learn a second language, it'll be Spanish, which is really Moorish Latin. And you can see evidence of that. Did I put it up? You can see evidence of that right here. Right where you see this right here. Look. Right here. You probably can't see it now though. But right here, Where my thumb at? It's going to say e pluribus unum. And right here, clear as day. See that? Novus order seclorum. Anut coptis. So think about this for our slide. If Latin was a dead language, if Latin was a real dead language, then why is it on these right here that people use today? Ding, 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 ding. Because Latin ain't never been a dead language. Latin is a Moorish language that they trying to say that our people are dead. How can we be dead and why our language is still on this? So if nobody is teaching Latin in school, why is it on this right here? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Make it make sense, Sway. Make it make sense, Sway. Hey, look though. I'm finna move around, man. It's been one. I appreciate all y'all Moors that tune in, all y'all Asiatics that tune in, share these beam outs. Cause it's our time now. It's our time now. You got questions, hit me up. Don't hesitate. Ask questions. Questions are good. The answers are everywhere. You just gotta want them. Cause they everywhere. Everywhere around you is hidden in plain sight. Answers is everywhere. Get this book right here. Fire. Fire. You said you been hitting me up? Well, hit me up. Hit me up. It be a gang of messages, so just hit me up though. I'm gonna get at you. Just hit me. Alright? Each one teach one. I self-law and master more. Study, study, study. The name is the strength. And the strength is the name. The name is Moorish American. Claim it. Because these pale hybrid Europeans, they've been claiming free white person unconstitutionally. Claim your name. What you waiting on? Claim your name. Alright? Islam. Peace, Moors.